1. In designing training for RBC's online assessment test, which adult learning principle is most effective for promoting long-term skill retention? A. Passive lecture delivery. B. Contextual, problem-based scenarios. C. Memorization through repetition drills. D. Sole reliance on independent study. 2. An RBC mentor is preparing a candidate for the online test. Which communication approach best ensures the mentee's comprehension? A. Deliver instructions without asking questions. E. Use closed-ended questions to limit discussion. C. Apply active listening and paraphrasing techniques. E. Provide all answers directly to save time. 3. Which evaluation method would best measure whether an RBC online assessment training program aligns with real job performance? A. Self-report satisfaction survey. B. Peer-to-peer observation checklist. C. Work simulation aligned with test content. D. End-of-course written essay. 4. When structuring a curriculum for the RBC online assessment test, which component ensures compliance with regulatory standards? A. Inclusion of unverified resources. B. Alignment with organizational testing policies. C. Overemphasis on memorization. D. Avoidance of assessment rubrics. 5. Which mentoring strategy fosters self-efficacy in adult learners preparing for RBC's assessment? A. Providing step-by-step solutions without learner input. B. Encouraging reflection on problem-solving approaches. C. Discouraging risk-taking to avoid errors. D. Limiting feedback to positive reinforcement only. 6. What is the primary purpose of formative evaluation in an RBC online assessment training program? A. To judge final learner outcomes. B. To provide real-time feedback for improvement. C. To rank learners by performance. D. To assign regulatory compliance scores. 7. When assessing communication during group preparation for RBC's online test, which behavior best reflects collaborative learning principles? A. Dominating discussions with personal expertise. B. Actively sharing and building on peer contributions. C. Avoiding feedback to reduce conflict. D. Withholding insights until the end. 8. Which adult learning principle should RBC instructors emphasize to support diverse learners in online assessment preparation? A. Standardized, one-size-fits-all instruction. B. Self-directed exploration with flexible pacing. C. Strict reliance on lecture-based delivery. D. Memorization of sample questions. 9. In mentoring sessions, how should an RBC coach provide corrective feedback to uphold effective adult learning practices? A. Give direct criticism without suggestions. B. Highlight mistakes in front of peers. C. Frame errors as opportunities for growth. D. Avoid addressing mistakes to protect confidence. 10. What is the most valid evaluation method to assess the effectiveness of RBC's assessment prep curriculum? A. Comparing results against baseline performance data. E. Conducting anonymous online polls about trainer popularity. C. Measuring learner satisfaction only. D. Reviewing attendance rates. 11. Which of the following communication techniques is most effective for addressing misunderstandings during test prep? A. Ignoring questions until after the session. B. Restating learner concerns in clear terms. C. Repeating the same explanation verbatim. D. Using technical jargon to reinforce authority. 12. In adult learning theory, why is relevance critical in RBC test training? A. Adults resist learning unless content is practical. E. Adults learn best by memorizing irrelevant data. C. Relevance discourages learner independence. D. Relevance limits the use of interactive tools. 13. Which curriculum design principle best ensures fairness in RBC online assessment preparation? A. Inclusion of biased case studies. B. Providing equal access to adaptive learning tools. C. Using outdated question formats. D. Focusing only on high-performing learners. 14. A mentor notices a candidate struggling with problem-solving items. Which approach supports skill development? A. Provide direct answers for immediate confidence. B. Break tasks into smaller, achievable steps. C. Discourage independent thinking. D. Ignore struggles until the test day. 15. What type of evaluation ensures RBC test preparation materials meet compliance requirements? A. Summative evaluation with external audits. E. Learner preference surveys. C. Informal peer review. D. Trainer self-assessment. 16. In designing mock assessments for RBC's test, which feature ensures validity? A. Inclusion of unrelated topics. B. Clear alignment with test objectives. C. Overemphasis on rote memory questions. D. Randomized, unstructured tasks. 17. Which communication barrier most threatens effective RBC test training delivery? A. Overuse of technical jargon. B. Interactive questioning. C. Constructive feedback. D. Clarifying instructions. 18. What role does mentoring play in regulatory compliance training for RBC's online test? A. Reinforcing organizational policies through modeling. B. Ignoring compliance requirements to reduce anxiety. C. Providing unverified personal strategies. D. Emphasizing shortcuts for faster completion. 19. Which adult learning strategy is most effective for RBC employees balancing test prep with work duties? A. Flexible, modular learning schedules. E. Strict, non-negotiable timeframes. C. Sole reliance on group instruction. D. Long, uninterrupted training sessions. 20. How should RBC trainers evaluate whether communication goals are achieved in test preparation? A. Use pre- and post-session learner comprehension checks. Avoid assessment to encourage open dialogue. C. Only observe body language during sessions. D. Rely exclusively on trainer intuition. 21. Which principle of mentoring is most important for preparing diverse learners for RBC's assessment? A. Imposing a uniform learning path. B. Recognizing individual strengths and needs. C. Focusing only on weak areas. D. Limiting opportunities for learner reflection. 22. Which type of assessment best measures higher-order thinking skills in RBC's test prep? A. Multiple-choice recall questions. B. Scenario-based problem-solving tasks. C. True-false knowledge checks. D. Timed rote memorization drills. 23. To ensure curriculum compliance, RBC trainers must: A. Align all content with corporate and regulatory frameworks. B. Use only trainer-developed, unverified material. C. Avoid updating resources regularly. D. Exclude feedback from learners. 24. Which communication skill helps RBC trainers build trust with adult learners? A. Dismissing learner concerns. B. Transparency and clarity in expectations. C. Using authoritarian directives. D. Withholding information for control. 25. What evaluation method would best identify gaps in mentoring support during RBC assessment training? A. Conducting structured learner feedback interviews. B. Measuring trainer attendance rates. C. Analyzing test scores only. D. Tracking online platform logins. 26. An RBC candidate prefers visual learning strategies. Which adaptation best demonstrates curriculum responsiveness? A. Providing data charts and infographics. B. Relying solely on oral instructions. C. Avoiding multimedia resources. D. Limiting practice to written case studies. 27. Which adult learning principle helps sustain motivation in RBC test preparation? A. Clear connection between learning and career advancement. B. Providing irrelevant background theory. C. Restricting opportunities for application. D. Relying only on trainer-centered lectures. 28. A mentor helping with RBC's test preparation should prioritize: A. Encouraging reflective practice and problem ownership. B. Providing only pre-made solutions. C. Reducing opportunities for independent thought. D. Avoiding feedback to minimize stress. 29. Which evaluation tool ensures fairness across diverse candidates in RBC's test prep? A. Standardized rubrics with clear criteria. B. Informal trainer observations only. C. Learner self-assessment without guidance. D. Unstructured open discussions. 30. How should communication be structured in RBC online prep modules to maximize comprehension? A. Use concise, plain language with practical examples. B. Incorporate excessive technical terminology. C. Provide minimal explanation to reduce time. D. Deliver content exclusively in long paragraphs.